Welcome in. I'm now going to be reviewing Saturday's action from the Major League Baseball season. There were a total of 17 games on Saturday's schedule. Starting with the New York Yankees, they went into Cleveland to take on the Guardians. The Yankees would win this contest. 3-2 would be the final score. They have now improved to 11-3. After the loss, the Guardians are 9-4. Schmidt picked up his first win of the season. Carlos Carrasco is 0-1, and Clay Holmes picked up his sixth save of the year. The Minnesota Twins were continuing their series with the Detroit Tigers. They would beat Detroit 11-5, bringing their record to 5-7. After the loss, Detroit's now sitting at 8-5. Jorge Alcala is 1-0 as a starter, while Alex Lang is 0-1. They actually played two games on Saturday, and the Twins won both of those. In the second game, they would win this contest 4-1, improving to 6-7, getting closer to 500. After the loss, Detroit's now 8-6. Simeon Woods Richards would pick up the win for the Minnesota Twins, while Matt Manning suffered the loss. Cole Sands picked up his first save of the year. The Kansas City Royals were taking on the New York Mets, and they would win this one, a very high-scoring affair. 11-7 would be the final score. The Royals have now improved to 10-5, while the Mets have now dropped 2 games below 500. They're sitting at 6-8. Alec Marsh is 2-0 as a starter, while Sean Mania is 1-1 after the loss. The Cincinnati Reds were taking on the Chicago White Sox. They actually shut out Chicago. 5-0 would be the final score. Cincinnati's now improved to 8-6, while the White Sox are now 10 games below 500. They're sitting at 2-12. Nick Lodolo is 1-0 as a starter, while Garrett Crotchet is 1-2. The Colorado Rockies went into Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays would finally win against the Rockies. They're now sitting at 7-8. The Rockies have now dropped to 4-11. Bowden Francis picked up his first win. He's now 1-2. Dakota Hudson suffered the loss. He's still winless on the season. He's at 0-3. While Yimi Garcia picked up the save. That will be his first save of 2024. The Milwaukee Brewers went into Baltimore to take on the Orioles. They would win this one 11-5 would be the final score. Milwaukee's now sitting at 10-3. After the loss, the Orioles are 8-6. Elvis Peguero is now 3-0 as a starter, while Dean Kremer is 0-1. The Houston Astros would finally defeat the Texas Rangers 9-2. They are now sitting at 5-11. Texas is now sitting at 8-7. Brian Abreu is now 1-1 as a starter, while Jose Arenu is 0-1. The Pittsburgh Pirates were continuing their series with their state rivals as the Philadelphia Phillies would win this contest. 4-3 would be the final score. Phillies now above 500. They are sitting at 8-7. After the loss, the Pittsburgh Pirates are 10-5. Jeff Hoffman picked up his second win of the season, while Jose Hernandez suffered his first loss. He's now 1-1. The Washington Nationals were continuing their series with the Oakland A's, or starting the series with their Oakland A's, with a 3-1 win. They are now 6-8, 2 games below 500, while the A's are 3 games below 500. They're sitting at 6-9. Mackenzie Gore picked up his second win of the season. He's 2-0, while Joe Boyle is 1-2 as a starter. Kyle Finnegan picked up his 5th save for the Washington Nationals. San Francisco Giants went into Tampa Bay to take on the Rays. They'd actually win this contest pretty one-sided, to say the least. 11-2 would be the final score. St. Fran's now sitting at 6-9, while the Tampa Bay Rays are now just 1 game above 500. They're sitting at 8-7. Logan Webb picked up his first win of the season. He's 1-1, while Ryan Pepiot is 1-2. The Atlanta Braves are taking on the Miami Marlins. The Marlins would pick up their 3rd win of the season, winning this contest 5-1. They are now sitting at 3-12, 9 games below 500. After the loss, the Atlanta Braves are 3 games above 500. They're sitting at 8-5. Max Myers 2-0 as a starter, while Chris Sale suffered his first loss. He's now 1-1. The Angels are taking on the Red Sox. The Red Sox would win this contest 7-2, bringing their record above 500. They're now sitting at 8-7. And speaking of 500, the Angels are now sitting at 7-7 after the loss. Greg Weiser picked up his first win. He's 1-1, while Griffin Canning is 0-2 as a starter. The Yankees were taking on the Cleveland Guardians, and they would win this one 8-2 would be the final score, improving their record to 12-3. Despite the loss, the Guardians are still 4 games above 500. They're sitting at 9-5. Cody Poteet picked up his first win of the season, while Tristan McKenzie suffered his second loss of the season. He's now 1-2. The St. Louis Cardinals were taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks would double up on the Birds. 4-2 would be the final score. Both of these teams are now sitting at 7 and 8 respectively. Ryan Nelson picked up his first win. He's 1-2. Kyle Gibson, after the loss, he's also 1-2. Kevin Ginkel, I do apologize, would get his third save of the season for the Diamondbacks. The Padres were continuing their series with the Los Angeles Dodgers. LA would win this contest 5-2, improving their record to 11-6. After the loss, the Padres are now one game below 500 at 8-9. Gavin Stone picked up his first win of the season. He's now 1-1. Tom Cosgrove, if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, he's now 0-1, while Evan Phillips picked up his fifth save for LA. The last game from Saturday took place in Chicago as we had the Cubs taking on the Seattle Mariners. Chicago would win this contest 4-1, improving their record to 8-6. After the loss, Seattle's now 3 games below 500. They're sitting at 6-9. Shoto Inamadaga is now 2-0 as a starter, while Emerson Hancock suffered his second loss of the season. He's now 1-2. Adbert Alzole got his third save for the Cubs. Alrighty, that takes care of Saturday's action from the Major League Baseball season. As always, if you're new to this channel and like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, take care.